キャラメルチョコレートバー森永うまっおいしいこれAh, so good. Oh, dude. Yum. Oh my god. I love Japan so much. You just go to a 7-Eleven or convenience store and you can buy like the most delicious things. Oh my god, save me. So delicious. Oh my god. I knew that was gonna be good. Because this brand, the caramel brand, is like what I buy as gifts for people. Cause just the caramels themselves in a little box. Oh my god. You guys think I look cute? Huh? Actually, my glasses look kind of cool. Sometimes I feel weird about these glasses. People are like, oh, you're like wearing David Sedaris glasses? That's what I got like 2 days ago. Or like some students will be like, oh, Steve Jobs mitai. Like Steve Jobs, like. But I am kind of like Steve Jobs, but you know, not as rich, brilliant, or like strict. Okay, trigger warning, I'm crying. The sakura finally bloomed. It was really late this year. There were a lot of tourists that came. Maybe they missed it. I saw some young guys like taking pictures of the unbloomed tree branches and laughing. But it was a pretty cool moment. I was like, they have a good attitude about it. Branch in my path. This impediment is really beautiful. important day in my life. Basically what happened was a couple of, well, first of all, I woke up this morning and I got a notification that my entire bank account had been drained of all its funds. So basically, all of my money was stolen. Except for I have about $70 in my wallet. And then a couple of days ago, I woke up and I had gout, G-O-U-T. It's like a embarrassing word. It's hard to even say it. My grandmother used to call it the rich man's disease. So yesterday I couldn't walk really, but today I feel better. So yesterday I slept all day, and this morning the bank was closed, so I can't notify them for a few hours. So I think the money's gone. It's not a credit card. So this morning I limped to the bank because I have a Japanese bank account and I thought it might also be compromised. And I waited there and canceled my card. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get my next paycheck out without it being drained before I can get the money. Actually, that's really important. But I had to explain it in Japanese, and I used the translation app, but she was frustrated by the fact that I wasn't fluent in Japanese. But then I wrote in my will that I made a will, even though I don't have much. And because my cousin encouraged me to do it years ago. And I wrote in the will that my money doesn't define me, or my material possessions don't define me. And I was realizing walking over here that this is my chance to prove it. So the 5 o'clock music is playing. Actually, I've been planning to take some videos of myself talking under the cherry blossom trees while they were blooming, but they just now started to bloom. And such a profound day. I was explaining to some people at a wedding reception a couple days ago that the word imechen in Japanese, image change. Actually, this city, Fukui, just got the Shinkansen bullet train to come to it, and they've done all these renovations, and I've been taking pictures of all the circles that they drew on the ground for the renovations to the asphalt and the sidewalk, you know, the underground piping, and I took thousands of pictures of them, and I put them into an ebook. It's called Where the Sidewalk Enzo, Enzo, and I'll publish that soon, probably this week. But you know, a lot of those holes in the ground were covered over with asphalt, you know, so sometimes I got a picture of them before and after. There's a bird, beautiful bird. And so I thought of the ground as like wounded. It has like hole or a pothole in it, and some of them are like really like aesthetically pleasing potholes, and then they would draw a circle around it, which in like Buddhist temples, some Buddhist monks will draw a circle, calligraphy circle called an Enso, every day as a meditation. And I thought about how the circle means so many things, you know, and I just made the huge list of all the things. It's on this YouTube channel. There's a bunch of those made into a video called a 1 hour meditation. So the sidewalk is, you know, it's like the skin. It's like the skin of our society, the biggest organ. It's like gets wounded, gets broken, and then is built up again, repaired, fixed. And I also thought about how I learned a word in Japanese, hakanai, which means fleeting or ephemeral, but it's usually used to refer to sakura trees, like cherry blossom trees, because of the feeling they give, where just for a short time they bloom and they're so beautiful, and everyone, you know, we all wait on it, and then they bloom and we see them, and then the petals fall. But what was I talking about? Fleeting, you know. I'm putting on, you know, I am strong. Like, I'm proud of myself for handling this and staying present, and I think I realized I felt guilt for not making more money. Like when I saw my bank account zero, I was this morning when I woke up, I got this adrenaline rush, and I just realized I felt guilty because I had saved up, or I had some money in there, and I thought, never let it get below this again. So I haven't been spending it, you know, I haven't, you know, I was gonna, like, I was thinking about taking a trip, or, you know, doing something with my week off this week, and I was like, no, you know, keep it, this is your emergency fund. And even that went, you know, and I think there's something, maybe it's like American culture, puritanical, maybe it's, I don't know, there's something deep in me that always thinks, oh, you're not working hard enough, you know, you're not serious. But, you know, even though it's, you know, I can't shame myself as a victim of thievery, you know. So, or, you know, really anything. Is there any reason to shame yourself? I think it brought all the, you know, it's like my life flashed before my eyes. And everything I'd done wrong, or every mistake I'd made, suddenly, you know, basically I blamed myself for losing the money again. You know, this time it's not because I spent too much or didn't make enough. This time it's because I didn't shred a document or expose myself to my wallet somehow, to a scanner or something, or online, who knows, you know. So, and then the gout, you know, like the rich man's disease. It's ironic, you know, it makes me think of Siddhartha, because, you know, he became poor and then he got all spiritual and he was a rich man. And, you know, and I'm rich in terms of having a very, you know, supportive family, and, you know, I'm wearing a secondhand Ralph Lauren shirt right now. I've always felt this tension between the world of wealth and the world of poverty, which I've skirted back and forth in my life, you know. Whether it's the school I go to, which is like an expensive private school, or, you know, the secondhand, you know, fashion brand I'm wearing, or, you know, these glasses are I got them from Etsy like 10 years ago or something, and couldn't afford to replace them now, you know. So I'm fortunate, you know, all of the advantages I've had. My pinky's cramping up. So recently I bought some lace in the shape of a flower, and I'm going to sew it into this shirt. I made another shirt, the Ralph Lauren horse logo, into a bee. I'll show you that next time. But this one I'm gonna make into a cherry blossom. And because, you know, I don't care about brands. One time I wore a sticker over my brand on my shirt, and some junior high school students asked, like, why would you do that? You know, it's like covering up the Apple on your you know, Apple laptop, your MacBook or something like that. But I do try to avoid brands, even though I bought like a North Face backpack recently. But that was done because I got a really good deal. It was like $30. It pretty much seems waterproof. It's great size, very comfortable, and I have been trying to minimize my possessions to a point where I can fit it all in one backpack. And the one I have is huge camping backpack, and I filled it up to go to Thailand, and it's too heavy. You know, I can't, if I fill it up, it's too heavy, and if I half fill it, it's too low. So anyway, but all that's ridiculous now because I just have the clothes on my bag, basically. and I will get paid, but I'm also, I didn't renew my contract for a variety of reasons, and I immediately sort of regretted that decision, but at the same time, tried to trust my instincts. So that's going to be up in a few months, and so yeah, just some, things have gone down, my apartment, whatever. It's, I'm 40 years old, I'm getting white in my beard. I'm supposed to have a property, I'm supposed to have a marriage, and I even felt guilty this morning about being gay because I kind of blamed that for not having any support. Like I don't even have like a partner to just tell these things to. So that's why I'm here on YouTube, because I just really want to get this out there, and I'd planned on talking to the camera under the Sakura anyway. I'm so thankful right now. Thinking about my parents, they're so generous and loving to me. This tree's gonna be so beautiful, and it's full of flowers. Love that. That's where it was when I started the video, where I ate the onigiri. I really love this spot. Hama flower. These haven't bloomed yet. I remember in The Power of Now, or The New Earth, I don't remember which Eckhardt Tolle book it was, but he said in the first chapter that a flower is like a symbol for a human consciousness. Like, it's one of the plants that blooms and shows its sort of its bloom, the bloom of awakening. Now I'm all spiritual because I lost all my money. I'm home. I was trying to think of like what I want to say, or I was kind of had my internal dialogue going, and I was like, oh, I need to do this. I need to be grateful, for what I have. I need to appreciate the sunset. I need to be more present. But then I thought, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to change. I don't need to I don't need anything. I'm gonna be okay, and I am a good man. I'm a good person. And even though I don't have any money, and I don't have a partner, and I don't have kids, and I don't have property, I live in this little micro apartment here. I've been a human. I am a human being. I'm just here being. And that's enough. Like, it feels good to, like, I was watching this video, Bashar, which is this channeled alien through BASHAR, through a man, and his piece of advice was, you're changing every moment. You're, every, a billion times a second, and like, just do whatever feels right in the moment, and that's the path forward, and I've been thinking about that. Like, it's so simple just to value the choice you're making right now. Like, right now I'm sitting here and making this video or talking, and that feels right, feels good. And then after that, we'll see, but I'll probably eat something. I've got some salad fixins that I ordered before, the thievery. And then maybe I'll watch some YouTube or whatever, but there's nothing to feel wrong about. Like, my life choices were my life choices. And I think a lot of people would love to be in my position. Like, the first time I was like, trigger warning, I'm crying, was I was thinking about, I don't want to like mess with anyone or bring up anything too serious, but I was just thinking about some kids in a war zone, and I just read on the news, they're like, eating grass and shit, and it was just teared me up, because it's not that my suffering or my problems need to be compared to theirs. I don't think that. I think it just made me get the message, not just scroll past it, but to feel it a little nearer today. I was able to empathize with them, not because I'm suffering like them, but because today was a big day for me. And you know, this isn't the first time it's happened that there's been thieves. It's like as old as time, you know. It's like the oldest profession or something. Even animals thieve, right? Yeah. I can imagine a monkey doing that. But yeah, I was gonna mention too, gout. In Japanese, it's tsufu, tsufu, tsufu. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but basically, like I said, my grandmother called it the rich man's disease, and the reason I felt guilty about the gout was because I know I've been drinking recently. About maybe 2 drinks a day. There's this one really it's so delish. It's like a lime soda alcohol, and it's like 7% alcohol, which I think 5% is like a beer. I'm not sure. But it does the job. It chills me out. I feel good. I drink by myself. I don't drink with other people. I just want a cold can of this lime soda, and if I drink 2 of them, I can just like mellow out. And you know, when I start drinking, I think, oh, okay, so I'm stressed. That must be it. I must be stressed, or else I wouldn't be drinking. But then Eckhart Tolle again, he was like, oh, you can have a glass of wine with dinner. And I was like, oh yeah, Eckhart Tolle drinks a glass of wine with dinner. But I don't think, you know, and I've really restrained my alcohol intake. Like I used to drink, I don't remember what I would drink, but I would buy a couple of those Foster's oil cans on the way home, and that was like the low point. And yeah, my relationship fell apart. I surrendered my dogs to a new owner. I moved in with my parents, but actually it was awesome. That was freaking great. And you know, I still was drinking. And then I tried keto diet. I'm just telling you my whole life, but keto helped me to be like, okay, well that has sugar, but alcohol, some of it doesn't have sugar. Like this lime thing barely has any sugar. But then I was buying probiotic pills, and I was like, oh, this will be great for my digestion. And you know, alcohol kills it, so it's a waste of money if I'm drinking all the time. And so anyway, there's been this whole journey, but I think about how like gay people often drink or use substances in excess, and I understand why. You know, I myself being gay, but I relate to them because to us because it's just not easy. You know, I always tell myself that like, oh well, you know, it's difficult to have a partner too. It's difficult to have a marriage. It's difficult to have kids. It's difficult, you know, those things are probably more difficult than being alone. And you know, it doesn't need to be compared, but I do think that because of the way that our society's set up, and I was thinking about myself growing up. I'm kind of like connecting to my inner child recently. Just remembering feelings I felt and things I liked back then. Um, like there were these Ritz cracker sandwiches that made me almost want to vomit, or Vess Cola, VESS Cola, like made me want to vomit. It was interesting, and I didn't like bananas or peas, but now I love peas, edamame. I eat it every day. But yeah, like, I was thinking it's kind of like that feeling of waking up and all your money's taken. I was like immediately trying to find someone to blame, and then I came back around to me. I came back around to blaming myself, and that's what it felt like when I realized I was gay. That's so messed up. It felt like it was my fault that, and sometimes it feels like it's my fault that I don't have a strong relationship. Maybe I messed up, or I was hard to deal with, or I was too sensitive. That's what I came down to with my last relationship. But maybe that's why even after, during college, I wasn't out or gay. I wasn't. I was in denial or something, or maybe I was fluid, or I'm not really sure. But it took me to come to Japan after college and a few months had to go by for me to finally be on my balcony. And I remember the cicada were out in summer, and I was smoking a cigarette. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I was listening to Jesus Etc., which is the song by Wilco on the album Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. And yeah, it's Wilco, Wilco. And the cicadas, I heard them, and smoking a cigarette, and I was very relaxed. I was enjoying the balcony and my independence and my exciting adventure. And that was the moment I realized I was gay. And it comes back to that hakanai, like fleeting, because the cicada only, it's like 10 to 12 years depending on the brood. They come, and then they come out and they make a lot of noise and live it up, and then they become, they die. And life's like that. Money's like that. Relationships, it comes and goes. I remember with my last boyfriend, one day I was on the beach and I was just so happy I started crying. And then yesterday I was watching a YouTube video of this guy. He was living in Vietnam with his Vietnamese wife or girlfriend, and he had just rented this apartment, and it looks awesome. It looks so cool, and they had just moved to Da Nang, Vietnam, and from Hanoi, and just in a couple of days, and it had been a crazy couple of days for them. And he was just doing a tour of the apartment, and his girlfriend was sitting on the couch, and he walks up to her, and she says, "Honey, I'm so happy." And that was such a beautiful, tender moment to witness. And he was like, I'm so happy you're happy. And then he just kind of went on with the tour. But I have felt betrayed. That came up for me today. Like my partners, like, it didn't stick with me, or like my friends took my money, or I don't know who took it. But it's not personal. It's just money. You know, people want money. It's not they want to offend me. But there have been people that want me to feel bad. They want me to be offended. Like, they, you know, they messed with me. People messed with me. So, but I'm good. You know, all the stuff is coming up. You know, all the stuff. But yeah, gout. Yep, I drink alcohol. So whenever I go a couple days where it's too painful to walk and I'm limping around, I'm always like, or when I'm laying in bed by myself, I'm like I did this to myself. And nobody can help me. I just have to feel the pain. But there was this moment when I was scuba diving. I mean, I have all these, it's just like all these amazing experiences. But I was scuba diving and my glasses broke. The glasses that are in my profile picture right now, probably. And in the morning before the scuba dive, I was like, oh wow. And it was like the big scuba dive. I'd been training for a couple weeks, and I went down and I started drifting. Like, I ended up drifting out over a cliff in the water. And I started to hyperventilate. If mom's watching this, just don't watch the rest of this. It's fine. I'm totally fine. Obviously I made it. So it just reminded me, I'll finish the story, but it reminded me of when my mom and I saw Jurassic Park, and halfway through she was like, do the kids survive? Because it wasn't the first time I saw it. She knew that I knew the ending, and I told her that the kids do survive. I'm glad Spielberg made that choice. It's much more rewatchable. But yeah, so I start hyperventilating. I was in a situation where I was basically drifting out to sea and watching my trainer, my sort of like lead scuba diver guy, just be like, and I was like, and in that moment I remembered this like thing about sumo wrestlers. I couldn't remember if it was samurai or sumo wrestlers, but at the moment it came up as sumo wrestlers, and how they just like, no matter what, can calm down their emotions to like a standstill. And that's like a skill they have, or like a monk or something. And I thought about sumo wrestler, and I tried to channel it, and I was able to slow down very slowly. I was still and it took like a couple minutes for me to balance back out too. And then I was able to go back to the trainer, and he was angry. But I didn't let that get to me. I was just like, alright, I'm alive. And then he shared his thing with me, and I was like, why? And he was like, oh, I was like, okay, this is a rescue. No, he just wanted, because I'd used all my oxygen almost. He wanted to continue the dive because everyone had paid a lot of money for it. So we kept going. I was like, okay, we're still going, you know. Anyway. But yeah, there's these moments in life where you're alone. You know, it's just up to me. I'm the one who has to feel it. I'm the one who has to feel intense pain in my foot. I'm the one who has to go without because I was thieved. I'm the one who has to calm my breath so that I survive a scuba dive. I don't have to be rescued, at least, and get some sort of, you know, whatever sickness. And, you know, there have been moments in my life when, you know, I had to realize I'm gay and I just had to deal with it. And that's a certain kind of, I think everyone has to experience that, you know. I was talking to my mom and she was like, you know, everyone has to, even if you have a partner, even if you have a family, you have to go it alone, you know. People say you die alone. Everyone dies alone, but to me that's like neither here nor there, because dying isn't that big of a deal. You know, it's taken a lot to get there for me, but then also, like, who cares about the moment you die? Like, that's just, there's only right now. There's not a moment you die until you're dying, you know, is what I mean. I'm very much trying to focus on the present moment as my spiritual practice, and I've gotten it down to where I can think about the day, you know, the present moment. I only feel it fully when I'm maybe meditating, or like right now when I'm talking about it, or when I'm taking a photo. Maybe that's why I like taking photos and videos. It's because I almost hold my breath. Or, you know, scuba diving, or these peak experiences really inspire presence. But, you know, maybe I'm doing better than I let on. But it really comforted me the other day to just be like, just get through the day. If you know, the Bashar quote, you know, like, just make the choice, the next choice that you want. Just follow the choices from moment to moment. Do the thing that you want to do. And, like, I remember yesterday, I was just so tired. I slept until, like, 3 p.m. And then I watched some videos, ate a huge salad, ate a huge bag of frozen berries with lime juice, and then I went back to sleep. So it was like, and that's what I wanted, and I felt so much better. Like, my foot is so much better. And, you know, then I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. and I was like, I got the notification. I was like, okay. And my adrenaline started pumping, and I was like, okay, this is what's going on. So, and even in that moment, I was trying to stay like, okay, Blake, don't. It's okay to feel adrenaline. I know it's natural to be like intense, but so I just went through the motions, did whatever I could do, and I felt betrayed, but I felt alone. But at the same time, I knew I wasn't. Like, in my essence, I know that, you know, I've been preparing myself spiritually for moments like this. And also, you know, when I did the meditation retreat, the Vipassana retreat, they talked about aversion and attraction, like pleasure and pain. Both of them are, you know, we're here, we can stay here rather than having these huge peaks and valleys, we can mellow out and be more have more equanimity, equanimous, and because my money doesn't define me, my, I'm not defined by the number of subscribers on my YouTube channel, or by the logo on my shirt, or by how cute I am, or my youth, my age, my these are all things that cling to my identity, that are labels and things that it's kind of like barnacles on the bottom of the ship, it's like, or barnacles on a piece of driftwood, and I'm just floating. I'm the driftwood, I'm just floating, and all these, like situations and successes and detriments and experiences are just kind of like hanging on to me for a while, and then eventually we all go back to dust, But I also felt, even though I felt those negative emotions, I felt compassion for myself. And I felt compassion for poor people, victims, for people that are in dire straits, and for just all people, for gay people, for, in the meditation retreat, we would have a time at the end where we would just send goodwill out to all people and all beings, and it was called Metta, MEHTA, I think. And I thought that was so beautiful, because that's love, I am love. And I thought about that today. I made that video about God is love, or something like that. And in the end, spoiler alert for those of you, for the 3 people who watched it already, the last one is love is me. Love is me. And when I watched it the second recently, I was like, oh, this is corny. But it's me at my most, like, soft, and I like that part. I like that barnacle on my driftwood. So, wow, it's hard to go back to being alone again. Like, I realized recently, like, it's kind of hard to hang out with friends. Like, I went to karaoke a couple times, and I went to make washi paper, and I went to a wedding reception, and even though, I didn't drink, because I was like, oh, I'm going to limp home, at least, but, I had to take my shoe off the night before last just to, like, get home, because the shoe was, like, cramping in my big old foot. Let me see if can you even see it? Yeah. You want to see my foot? See, it's kind of purple. So yeah, you've seen my feet. There you go. Never wanted to see that. But yeah, thank you for being there for me in this moment, for listening to me, for watching however much of this video you watched. And yeah, I just kind of needed, like, an impersonal outlet for, even though the people who will watch this are probably my brother and my friend, so thank you, both of you, and anyone else who watches it. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm proud of myself. because I'm proud of myself. And don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Until payday, I've got a bunch of food I bought, and I've got some cash, and it'll be fine. It'll be a good experience to live very cheaply for a few weeks, you know. And every day I'll take a walk and watch the sakura bloom near my apartment, and I can limp over there, and I'm sure tomorrow I hope that my foot will feel even better than it did today. So, you know, it's about 20% of what it was yesterday, so pain wise. So it's improving, and then tonight I'm gonna call the bank when they open, and but I've resolved myself to the fact that I don't think I'm gonna get the money back. But I've already got just a logical strategy of how I can avoid this in the future. And hakanai, you know, such is life. Que sera, sera. Love. Bye, you guys. I'll make another video tomorrow. I kind of planned on doing this, like, while this cherry blossoms are in bloom, I will make a video every day, and it lets me kind of check in on you, check in on myself. But yeah, see you tomorrow. It's a weird dinner. I just wanted to eat these eggs before they go bad, because I got them on sale anyway. There were raspberries on sale at Guillaume Soupa, and I bought like 4 bags. So thankful. And I saw in Diary of a CEO that the spy episode where he was like, CIA agents only eat eggs and berries for breakfast. I was like, if it's good enough for them. So delicious though. Lemon juice, lime juice with frozen berries. I'm fine.